Today is going to be a very special video, not one with an animatic, mind you, but a story time, but you know, without the animation, silliness, all that fun jazz. A very calm video, but a story time nonetheless. So grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, grab your snacks, grab your grandmother if she's there watching this. Just grab whatever you can, because today is going to be a story time of how yours truly got into their first fight. So as always of what I do, let's just jump right into it. So we start this story off early in my childhood, not particularly in middle school, but more of like the early stages before you get to middle school. I don't know if it's different in other areas or countries, but before you go off to middle school, you go into this intermediate kind of schooling system where it's like first grade on to like sixth grade, so it's a weird intermediate point. But anyways, it started off in my early ages of my childhood, and let's just call this person, for the sake of keeping their identity a secret, let's call them A, for just the sake of them. So I was around sixth grade level, just drawing, doing my own thing. It was a very start of the year, mind you, and just me doing my own thing, being quiet, drawing whatever OC I had at the time from whatever fandom, just being me. And this person, A, starts pestering me and overall just being a nuisance to my personal space. Very much of like bullying, but not to the point of bullying where you like get anyone involved. So they just start picking on me, saying slick things here and there. Overall, just touching my things, being weird. And I decide, after a while of this happening, because I was a big wimp and I didn't want to come to my parents, I finally go to tell the teacher, because I didn't want to get my parents involved, especially my mom, which she is a very terrifying person, and we'll get into that later. Not to spoil the surprise, but yeah, I get my teacher involved, and I don't know if any of you had to deal with this, most likely, but teachers, I feel, are not very fond of helping children when it comes to bullying. It's all these campaigns, stop bullying this, stop bullying that. But when it like a kid actually comes and says, hey, I'm being bullied, the teachers don't do a damn thing. It's weird, and it's a complaint of mine. But the teacher, when I came to them about the problem, saying, hey, this person is bullying me, I'm uncomfortable, please help, they said to stop being a snitch. To a child. I was 11 and I was quiet. They knew this. And so I look at her and I look back at the person, and then the person has this horrible, just horrible, sickly grin on their face as I'm telling the teacher this and they're ignoring me. I go back to my desk and I sit there and I'm utterly and horribly shocked, but not surprised. Shocked, but not necessarily surprised. So after a while of me dealing with it, because my teacher threatened to tell my mother to not be a tattletale to a child's face, I sit there and take it like a big dummy until finally, after a while, I go home one day, my mom doing her job, and say, I am being bullied, and the teacher told me to not be a snitch. And so I don't know if you know anything about my mother, but when it comes to me, it's not good. It's not good. Cursing, fighting, yelling, all sorts of that fun jazz. She, at the very least, she was, let's just say she was not pleased. She was not pleased, y'all. She was very furious. She was upset. She was crashing out. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. She was crashing out. She overall wanted to go back up to the school. Mind you, it was like 7 p.m. She wanted to go find that lady's address and drop kick her. It was horrible. So my mom raging out, freaking out, upset that her child is being bullied and the teacher isn't doing anything. The very next day, bright and early, about to go to my school, She wakes me up. It's like, come on, let's go. Car keys. We're getting in the car. I'm going to have a talk with your teacher. So we go to my school. Sees the teacher early in the morning. Kids are also getting settled in. This class hasn't even started yet. The bell hasn't even rung. That's how early it is. So the teacher's there writing on the board or whatever. I come up and she's expecting just me. Lo and behold, it's me and my mom. A very furious my mom. I'm going to drop kick you because you ignored my child and persisted that my child might be a snitch, my mom. So my mother goes up to the teacher, and as my mother goes up to the teacher, and this woman clearly sees that my mother is mad, she directs all of the other children to go to the back of the class. And my mother absolutely lays into this lady. And to disguise her absolutely irresponsible behavior, she looks at me and says, I didn't say that. You're lying. And she's like, what did she say to you? And I was like, she told me to stop snitching, to not be a tattletale. And my mother, her direct words, not mine, said, if my child ever comes to you with any sort of problem and you say to not be a snitch or to stop tattletaling, I'm coming up here and I'm beating your ass. And so, yes, the teacher, clearly very terrified of my mother, instantly decided to put me in another class. She didn't even want to deal with me. She put me in another class, y'all. She just basically was like, yeah, you can, she can be transferred. So I was transferred. And the worst part about it is the bullying didn't stop. So fast forward again, a lot of other events happened this year. I ended up getting into a fight with the girl. Not my first fight with her, by the way. But I ended up getting into a fight with the girl. My parents come up again. My mom crashes out yet again, almost rips the desk on the principal. And yeah, it's apparently over. We're over with the situation. A whole school restraining order is filed on the girl so she won't bug me again. And overall, the situation becomes handled. And we fast forward on to middle school era, and everything is going perfectly fine. Everything's going smoothly until my grades drop. I don't do very well in said middle school, and I have to go to summer school. Everything's also fine and dandy for a while until I see a familiar face. A very uncommon familiar face. A face I thought I would never see again. It was A. And she was still on that type of timing with me. Girl, we haven't seen each other in 2 years. We haven't seen each other in 2 years, girl. What are you talking about? So she again starts picking a fight with me, apparently wanting to continue what had happened in the past, even though we were in secondary school, and she was just overall being a bully, which of course, bully behavior. Bullies are going to keep bullying people they find weak. But nonetheless, she starts it up again. This time, it was in the lunchroom. And as I'm eating my lunch, talking to my friends, she starts bugging me again. And this time, something in my mind tells me, hit that bitch in her mouth. So I pick up myself, take a deep breath, pick up my tray, pour my trash on top of the girl, and hit her with my tray. Yep, fight. Boom, baby. Yep, we're fighting. So now we're scrapping in said lunchroom. Everybody's recording. Boys are yelling. A whole lot of stuff. It takes 5 minutes for faculty to get there. And as we're just scrapping, fighting in this lunch area. She tries to pull me down. She tries to push me down, and I grab her shirt. And as I'm falling, as I'm grabbing her shirt while falling, her shirt rips. You hear a tear. Her shirt rips. Everything. So I got into my technical first actual fight. And good God, was it sweet. The faculty leads me out. The girl, something happens with her. I don't know. I don't care. And I get led to the car where my dad is sitting on, waiting for me. And as the faculty tries to explain, my dad stops him and lets me speak. I explain to them what happened. And overall, my first fight was my first fight. Nothing really happened. The girl, I guess, got what was coming to her. She got punished. And frankly, a win is a win. A win is a win. A win is a win. Come on now. Come on now. A win is a win. A win is a win. I was satisfied. I won. Haha. She sucks. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of sort of what happened with my first fight. And overall, I cheesed the freak out of that fight. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Listen, it was so long ago, but you don't know the satisfaction of getting your get back when people deserve to have their gets got. And it was beautiful. But after this, I never really saw her again because we ended up moving, kind of. And overall, I did kind of see her in my high school year, like once and then never again. But if she has improved and moved on from her sad, pathetic excuse for bullying, hopefully she's doing okay, you know. But if she tries to run hands with me again, I will be seeing her. But anyways, yeah, guys, that was the story of my very first altercation, my first fight. And overall, I won. Cut. Cue the outro. Cue the outro. As always, like and subscribe. Bye-bye. I won the fight. Ha ha. She sucks. Bye.